Right, my name is Stephen J. Humphrey, independent parliamentary candidate for Boscombe East at the next general election whenever that arrives. I've been watching a lot of stuff on the YouTube and done some research into some of the reasons why we should be voting. Now, historically, 40% of us don't vote. Now that's 50 years ago. There was like a 90% turnout for votes, so 90% of us voted 50 years ago. At the last general election in 2005, that was down to about 60% of the British electoral population. That's me and you. Only 60% of us voted. Now of that 60%, which I think is about 15 million people, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. But of that 60%, only 25 to 30% voted for the government of Gordon Brown and New Labour and all the corporate society. 25%, so that's less than 5 million people voted for Gordon Brown, New Labour and all the politicians that are now abusing, bankrupting, corrupting and basically proving their incompetence. This country has got 61.4 million people, as revealed on the news last night, and that's the highest number of people that this country has ever known. Now, if there are 61.4 million people in this country, governed by a parliament of 640 odd, that's about 100,000 people per MP. So Gordon Brown represents in his own constituency 100,000 people. Tobias Elwood, my local MP in Bournemouth East, represents 100,000 of people that live in Bournemouth, including me. Now, he is a fine, upstanding ex-soldier, good candidate, got elected, fair play to him. But what has he done for me? Stood up in Parliament and voted on my behalf to steal my van, enforce road tax on me when I had the van, basically told me on my behalf that I should pay fuel duty twice. Where's the camera? Twice. Because I got the van for nothing, didn't cost me a penny. Every gallon of petrol that I put into the van cost me 80% tax. First thing I tried to do was get it MOT'd, it failed, 45 quid, thank you very much. Repairs, 6 months later, another MOT, another £45, thank you very much. Insurance, that was the second thing I did. Or was it the other way around? Anyway, insurance, car insurance, van insurance, commercial vehicle direct, charged me initially £540 and I negotiated that down to £350, payable £35 a month, of which at least 17.5, I think it was, correction, 20% of that £350 that I agreed to pay went in VAT or insurance tax or whatever the tax is called. So that's £175 in tax just to insure the van against fire, theft and all the other comprehensive details. So I agreed to pay the £35 a month, £17.50 of that monthly income went on tax. So working out £175 I paid, and then I had to pay 80% on every litre of fuel that I bought, so that's what, 80p a litre, about £4 a gallon. So I must have spent at least £250 on diesel. You know, you get a licence holder to drive it. You pay the fuel duty. You get the litre of fuel. You can go a litre's worth of travel. So there I am, £17.50 a month to drive the van that apparently I didn't actually own, because I signed the V5 vehicle registration document. I became the vehicle registered keeper, even though it didn't cost me anything. I paid £17.50 a month, £60 deposit, all that kind of stuff. So there's one good reason why you have to vote for someone like me. Now, as you can see, I've got makeup, I've got went to a fancy dress last night, lemon bones, geriatric skeleton I think I went as. It's funny. Good party. Good on you, Kira. Make it happen, babe. Make it happen. Right, so there I am, £175 later, 350, well I paid a year's worth of insurance, and then just before the insurance was up to renew, I took it through the MOT, it failed again on this one point, and paid another £45, so that's £90, plus 175, plus the another 100, well say £200 on diesel, and 250 altogether. So I bought 50 quid worth of diesel, £200 worth of fuel duty, and the bastards, I had a job interview in February, end of February, just before the van was, insurance was up for renewal, and I got stopped by this nice, cute and cuddly copper. He said, I'm seizing this vehicle because you don't have any road tax. But I said, I'm on my way to a job interview. I don't matter, he said, you broke the law. What law? And he pointed it out. And I didn't know then what I know now, which is that he was talking complete bollocks. He was talking about fining me for something that I'd already paid, what, the best part of £300-400 of my own money. It was my money. I didn't work very much, I didn't have a proper job, I didn't have, and I still paid it. I was homeless, living in the van, right? That was my primary home. MPs have 2 homes, right? One in their constituency, one at London, if they're lucky. If they don't have a constituency in London, they have two homes, bought and paid for by us, and that van was my home. Now, at the time I was living in temporary accommodation because it was -4. In the last night that I stayed in that van, it was -4 thereabouts. Right. So if I had stayed in that van, I probably would have died of hypothermia, so I had to get out of the van and into a warm and comfortable environment. Luckily John Road was a nice flat, got some support and encouragement, and they got me into a proper house in Walpole Road a couple of months later. So that van was my life, that was my home. Now, according to the Human Rights Act, and I got down to the last minute on this, says I have the right to life. Now, if my life was in that van, the coppers stole it, nicked it. And I protested, I went to court, got fined another £250. So work it out, I paid the government well over £550 to live in a van. Altogether I got 12 months, wasn't allowed to drive for 12 months for some reason, even though I was perfectly safe, and they stole my van and charged me another £300 to get it out of storage, which they didn't need to do because I owned it, or I thought I owned it, until I realised no, I don't. So there's one good reason The government suck. They are stealing your cash. I'm going to pause it here and go to the next section.